Okay. Ohio woman who fatally stabbed her mother over college suspension is sentenced to 15 years to life.
Wait,
What?
what?
Yes.
Read it again?
So, okay.
Or just tell us?
Yeah. So Sydney Powell hit her mother,
How old is she? Does it say? You'll get there. Sorry.
Brenda Powell, with an iron skillet in 2020
I like blue screen, dude.
before stabbing her nearly 30 times in the neck.
In the neck? Are you freaking kidding me?
'Kay.
What did her mom do?
University of Mount Union officials were on the phone with the victim when the fatal attack occurred. Okay, so let me set the stage for you. You're going to college. You're living your best life. You were a honor roll student
Whoa.
in high school. You get to college in a sorority, you're living your best life. Then all of a sudden, you suck at life. Your grades plummet, all stuff. You get kicked out of school.
Oh.
Okay? So I'm going to paraphrase a little bit because this article that is from NBC News does not state the background that I saw, because this happened in 2020. I didn't hear about it
Yeah.
until a couple of days ago because she just got her sentence. Like the trial has been
That makes
finished.
sense. Okay.
But I saw somebody talking about the whole thing of it. So if you want to go back to 2020 and read some articles about it. But the gist of it was she got
you can
kicked out.
stay in 2023, but just read articles.
Time
Yes.
time travel hasn't been invented yet, so they say. That's another topic.
Oh, gosh.
Conspiracies.
Yes, but so what I heard was that she got kicked out, but she was still going to her sorority meetings and living in her sorority house with her roommates. Nobody knew that she got kicked out.
Interesting.
The sorority had to send updates like attendance and all that kind of stuff because you probably get kicked out of the sorority if you're not participating. And the administration was like, this person doesn't go to school here anymore. So they went and evicted her, basically. Like
The sorority
shoo-shoo.
did.
The administration
Okay.
did. The
Okay.
dean and all of that.
Okay.
Evicted her. So she moved back home, and she told her parents that she was still going to school full time. But I moved back home. I don't know what her excuse was. I didn't get that far into it. But she started being at home at weird times. Like her dad had a Life 360. Is that what it's called? Where you can like track your family
Oh.
to make sure, like on cell phones.
Yeah, I didn't
Like if
know.
everybody has the app, you can track them. And he noticed that she was at home at weird times. So when they would ask her about it, she
Like
was
during
like,
the day.
right. She'd
Like,
be like, "Oh, my class was canceled. It was online." Like
excuse,
all these
excuse.
excuses. So then he didn't get charged for a semester of her school, room and board, whatever it was. That was
Yeah.
monthly. He didn't get charged, and he was like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
So he asked her about it, and she made up, "Oh, it's an error, whatever, blah, blah, blah." So then he was like, this doesn't seem right. Parents' intuition. So he left his phone at work,
so she
drove-
couldn't track him.
drove home, and he confronted her about it. So she told him, like, God, school's really hard, like, all this stuff.
Christ
So then the mom
Right.
calls the school to figure out what's going on, to like help her or whatever, because she didn't tell them that she got kicked out. So didn't get a hold of anybody. Called her back. She was on the phone with the dean and some administration with this girl, Sydney, in the room. And I guess it got to the point where she was like, Sydney, you got kicked out of school? And she picks up this skillet, bashes her mom over the head while she's on the phone with the administration,
that just
hangs up,
What?
apparently stabs her mom
30 times.
30 times. The administration calls back. She answers. Okay, so let's get into what the article is.
But she didn't do any of that to her dad when her dad confronted her.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
She had beef with her mom? Like,
I have no
daddy
idea.
girl?
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
I don't know. She looks very sad and distraught. This happened in Ohio. I don't know if I mentioned that. So last week, which this article, let me go back, was published September 28th of this year. Last week from then, she was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Only 15
sentenced to
years?
15 years behind bars to life, 15 to life
Okay.
type of thing. So she's eligible for parole
After 15 years?
after 15 years, apparently. So then they can appeal or whatever. So it said that she had been suspended from the University of Mount Union for poor grades. And school officials were on the phone with her mom when the fatal attack occurred. School officials called Akron police when they heard screaming on the other end of the line. The phone cut off at some point after, I would say, somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 or 7 of those thudding sounds. And the screaming had continued. So they're just listening to somebody get murdered. That would be traumatic.
But okay, but like,
Yeah.
what snapped? Like, this person was an honor student.
Yeah.
Like, something had to have happened. Like, was she always a psychopath ready to snap? Like, who?
What's a picture of her?
Yeah, I want to see a picture. Oh, she looks.
Well, she looks
Demonized. So
empty.
empty. Yeah.
Yes. But so they said that they called back multiple times.
And didn't get a answer.
Called the home back. Oh, yeah, repeatedly called the home back before a woman picked up and claimed to be Brenda. So right now she's falsifying shit. Okay, the voice on the other end says, yes, this is Brenda. Yes, this is Brenda. It was then this person, school official, was like, it was not Brenda. I was sure it was Sydney. Both Dean, Frazier, and I looked at each other and sort of shook our heads at each other and said, that's not Brenda. He then said, Sydney, I think this is you. This is not Brenda. Then the phone went dead. I just got chills.
I
Yeah.
have
I literally
chills.
just got chills.
This
Okay.
is like stuff that you see in movies.
Yeah.
Like, this is like not real life. I just.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh.
Well, don't leave us hanging.
Yeah.
I know.
we're-
So, but unfortunately, that's kind of where this ends. But I'll tell you what I like. This particular article is that the girl asked for a court-appointed attorney to represent her for the appeal, and that they were saying that they were so sorry for the loss. I can't imagine what they've been through, the family of Mrs. Powell. But what I heard too is she also broke a window. Like the dad, so it was this whole thing because the person that was talking about the case listened to testimony and everything. Apparently, Sydney broke a window from the inside
Oh, to make it look like
to
someone.
make it look like a break-in.
Yo, that's like what is that called
What?
whenever they
You're thinking about it.
oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Someone will let us know.
Premeditated.
Premeditated.
Yeah.
Or I mean just the
It-
fact that
the
she's
sh-
trying to cover it up.
Cover up.
Like
It was the falsifying of evidence and all of that, which, LOL, you can tell which way a window's
Well,
broken
window's
by where the
broken,
glass
yeah.
goes, dumbass. But
How is she an honor?
she was
She book
before.
smarts. She don't have street smarts.
she don't got no street
Yeah,
smart.
no street smarts.
Nothing. So her dad came home and she called her and tried to be like, oh, somebody broke in. Like she literally told people somebody broke in. First off, wouldn't you be covered in blood if you stabbed somebody 30 times?
Well, she could have washed off.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
gosh.
That is wild.
Yeah, trying to cover it up.
I think it also took so long because they had to determine if she had a psychotic break.
Yeah, that's
And
what it
she-
sounds
Yeah.
like.
100%.
But they
Maybe her
deemed
mom
it,
was just a hard ass, to where
Yeah.
it's just like, how dare you? We didn't raise you to be this way, like all stuff. And it was because when you stab somebody in the neck, it's different stabbing them in the back, like that type of thing. But like the
about
frustration,
this.
How do
Yeah.
you know this?
well,
Do we need to worry about you?
it's just like if you shoot somebody in the back,
You don't want to see their face.
if you don't want to see
Yeah.
their face and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're stabbing them in the neck, that is a close
Like making eye contact,
Yeah.
like
type of thing. Like,
so they
I
deemed
hate
that she
you.
wasn't
Crazy.
she didn't have a psychotic break. Like
this article does not say.
I mean, I would assume
15. Well,
I would assume that they didn't.
or they did and only gave her 15 years.
But wouldn't she have gone into an insane asylum or
No.
psychiatric like asylum? Or
I
something?
do remember
Where
seeing her
has she
freaking
been
face.
until she got?
Probably in
So she's already served 3 years.
or
No,
she
that's just
bonded.
waiting.
Got like
Yeah.
You're just
Like,
waiting
who
at that
bonded her?
time.
her dad.
No.
Oh no,
I
I
don't-
wouldn't think so.
I would assume she was just being held in jail.
Yeah, in jail.
Oh, she was alive whenever they found her.
The
Oh
mom?
shit.
Yeah, she was rushed to the hospital where she died from her injuries. This is
Oh.
from ndtv.com, an article. And her mom was a healthcare worker, so I love that. So she was found guilty of felonious, that's a weird word, assault and tampering with evidence in the brutal death of healthcare worker Brenda, 50 years old.
Her actual mom, biological mom?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Yo, that's freaking wild. Like I could just never.
Mm-mm.
I like it takes these people. Like,
Okay, so here, I'm glad I clicked on this. The defense argued that Powell suffered from schizophrenia and therefore could not be held accountable for the murder. Well,
do they prove it?
it says,
They could try. I mean, I bet you they tried because she got kicked out of school. She was an honor child.
Yeah,
This-
it's very
Yeah.
like strange. It's like a
Weird.
weird.
James Reardon, one of 3 defense experts who made the diagnosis, said Sydney suffered from psychotic break when she killed her mom, who she had considered her best friend. That's right. That was another part. They apparently were closer than snot.
Yo,
So that's why it was so
crazy.
crazy that happened.
I mean, it to me. It's like it sounds like. I mean, she was living at home. It wasn't
Yeah.
like they
Right. Kicked
had,
her
like,
out or
kicked her out,
yeah.
or was like, well, you're at school, like you need to be living in the dorms, or like I don't know. It just seems like so strange that she just like
Snapped.
snapped.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it seems like is that it was like a snapping situation here. You know.
Also, literally, they were saying the fact that she started with the pan and then went to the knife is purposeful.
Like
You-
they,
You know, like if you're bashing somebody with one and they're like, "Ah, this is not good enough to kill him."
And get a knife.
Like, come on. You can't.
Oof.
That's wild.
oh man.
That's crazy.
But like, what I wonder is what would have happened if it had been her dad.
Well, clearly, same thing.
You don't know that. We don't know that though, because it
I mean,
wasn't.
her dad walked in on her at home and confronted her about it before this.
And nothing
and
happened.
nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So I
just
don't
like-
know if it's because she was caught in her lie, though, is
Yeah.
what triggered it. Because her mom was on the phone with the
And you
people.
got kicked out.
Like,
No, I'm on the phone with them. No more lies.
yeah. To where it was just too much for her.
Woo.
And she's like, but see, that's
Isn't
what's
that
crazy.
sad?
Is like, what is gonna happen to you? Like, you'll get like a stern talking
Yeah.
to. Like, nothing is bad enough that
Right.
you need to kill
Kill.
because that kind of thing makes me think of someone that is caught in the act of killing someone
Yeah.
and then they kill that person that they
Mhm.
see,
Mhm.
or a burglary, a robbery, like you're trying to hide.
Right.
But this is like, this isn't, you're not going to prison, you're not going
No.
to jail, you're not getting a fine, none of
No.
that stuff.
And like her parents are paying for her school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like she has what worries? in li-
none.
like-
And that's wild to me because
Yeah.
it was, she intended to kill her
Yep.
and,
Maybe not when she got up in the morning, but
but in
No.
that
During
moment,
that moment,
her
yeah.
intent
she
was
must
to
have had
kill
thoughts
her.
at some point, though, right? Because you can't just
all of a sudden,
all of a sudden.
I mean,
you'll never know. She'll never
no.
say.
Maybe she'll write a book.
yeah, doubt it.
Are you going
But-
to go buy it?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Leela's like, I will buy it.
I
No,
will
I'm just
buy it
kidding.
and find out.
Well, if people want to know,
Yeah.
they'll buy it. But I don't think she's gonna
But
buy the
then
book,
if
but
she writes a book, who says she's going to tell the truth anyway?
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
it could just be fabricated nonsense. Hooey
Yeah.
bananas.
Man.
I like. Why don't they use lie detectors?
But are they, how accurate are they?
I don't know. Polygraphs.
Yeah.
Because if they're convicted,
I feel like those can't hold up in court either.
they can't. But I'm just saying, like, if the person's convicted,
Yeah.
they have nothing to lose. Why
Yeah.
don't they attach them to a polygraph and like try to get
Actual answers.
actual answers, not necessarily
Just to know.
just to know. I just want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Curiosity.
all
I
of them
know.
confess. So it's like
Yeah.
I just want to know
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
going on in your head. Like,
right. What were you,
you know?
thinking? Like, bruh, you're already going. It's because they
they don't want
potentially
to incriminate themselves
themselves
anymore.
even more.
And like, and it's a whole thing. So they'll never do it. But I'm just like, I want to know. I want
Yeah.
to know what happened. What made her snap? That's freaking
well,
wild.
and
I
this
didn't hear
goes
about
back
that.
to literally, like, can you imagine if literally like what you're saying, but if you cut in front of somebody
I'm telling you.
at just walking down the sidewalk or
Mhm.
something, and then all of a sudden they're like shank shank
Yes.
because you piss them off enough to have a psychotic break. Like,
Well,
what is
and
that
how
even?
like mentally stable is half of this country.
Also, can we?
You
Yeah.
know,
Not-
like
Not.
So remember back in the day? Let's just talk about this for a second. Black Friday,
Ugh.
yeah.
people running in,
Yeah.
trying to
Trampling
get the
over
last
people.
thing.
Yeah.
But you didn't have people shanking people.
No, but now
No.
you would.
Oh yeah.
Now you
Now
would.
you would.
Why is that?
Because it took everyone out of.
This-
It's almost like we don't know how to interact with anybody
That
anymore.
literally happened before the ick.
2020. That was.
It was
during
like
the ick.
March though when it happened, I think.
That was right before.
19.
No, it
No,
happened
it
in
was
2020.
in
Oh.
2020.
Yeah.
But I like now that is I think a
Yeah,
Yeah.
one off.
one
She
off.
was.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a
crazy.
one off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it happens
I
all
mean-
the time. But sadly, I like now. I think the assaults, all of that stuff is because we don't.
Getting bad.
Or did it always happen and now social media is just very
TikTok started in the ick.
like we didn't have as much
Potentially-
social media.
But now it's like, I don't know.
I
That's
would
a good
like to
point.
talk to a. It's not psychology, sociology, right? Sociology,
That's
like, because that has to do
That's
with
not what you're talking
social.
about. That's not-
yes, yeah.
You
okay,
know,
that's so
like somebody who's studying that now. I wonder what their thoughts are on it
Yeah.
that we're all
as a society.
just burning.
Yep.
Yeah.
That meme
Yeah.
of the
Elmo.
where he's in the fire.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like burning. Everything's burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is right now.
Kind of how it
Yeah.
feels. Yeah. Definitely don't. I head on a swivel most of the
Oh, yeah.
time. And in traffic, I'm like, oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, no,
Because what if
you.
they're like, ba ba ba, with a gun? Just because
Don't be flipping them
You-
off.
turn on your blinker to move over,
Yeah.
and they don't turn on theirs.
That little signal thing on the left
Yeah,
and right.
the
Yeah,
single-
what is
you know,
that?
Yeah,
Who
whatever
uses
that is.
Yeah, nobody
It's
uses
just,
that anymore.
it's a scary place nowadays. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It definitely is. But on a brighter note, we're done.
Yep.
With
With
with this episode. So
That's the best part of the episode
if
for
you
Lydia.
made it to this part, congratulations, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Shake, shake.
Bye.
Bye.